If you're having trouble with your hook set, you're not just really getting a good hook set and you're losing a lot of fish because of it, what's one equipment change that you can make that'll help? Wow! That's a beauty. Good morning, guys and girls. August the 9th, looking at 1 Corinthians 6:1. 1 Corinthians 6:1. When you have something against another Christian, how can you bring yourself to go before judges who are not right with God? When you have something against another Christian, another believer, how can you bring yourself to go before judges and lawyers who are not right with God, who are not believers? That's a good one right there. You reckon God foresees what would be happening here in the United States right now? We're the most happy country in the world, it seems like. All right, here's what I wrote about that. I wrote this back in 2005, by the way. Being in the boat business and fishing on television seems to put a target square on your back. We've been sued just trying to help a friend sell his boat. We wasn't even making any money off of it, not a penny. Just trying to help a buddy sell his boat. It's a long story, but, the other guy didn't pay him. Such are the times in America today. We reach out as far as we can, listen to this, to place blame for something on somebody else, anybody else. And when they have a lawsuit, they sue everybody they can. Here the other day, I heard a deal about where all of the drugs and cartel and all that down in Mexico, they're wanting to sue American gun manufacturers for that. They want to place the blame for something on somebody else, anybody else. It doesn't matter. It only takes a little nudging. Here's the big deal. This is where lawsuits come from, guys. It only takes a little nudging from Satan for good people to do bad things. Not just suing, but all kinds of bad things. It only takes a little nudging sometimes from Satan. And in lawsuits, they did you wrong, you need to sue them. They're a big giant company, you need to sue them. That's Satan talking to you usually when that happens. It only takes a little nudging from Satan for good people to do bad things. God, of course, knew this would happen. And he admonished his people, God's people. That's you and me. He admonished you and me to settle their differences among themselves rather than trust that situation to an ungodly judicial system. Now, some of you might disagree, and you got a perfect right to, but for the most part, we have an ungodly judicial system. We have most of the people involved in that judicial system that are not believers. There are lawyers that's believers. I've got several friends that are believers. Most of them are not wealthy lawyers. They're poor lawyers, but they don't fudge on their beliefs. They don't compromise. That's the word I was looking for. They don't compromise on what they believe. They stick with their Christian beliefs no matter what. Christians will often wrong other Christians. Believers will often wrong other Christians. We'll do things to somebody else we shouldn't do. God knew this, and he's prepared to get involved in those solutions if we'll only let him. What he's saying is, instead of taking it to court, to an ungodly judicial system, take it to him. After all, God is the ultimate judge. God is the ultimate judge. Oh my gosh, I love that one. Here's our tip for today. A low stretch fishing line will help improve your hook set. A low stretch fishing line. They make fishing lines, monofilament line that's got some stretch to it. They can control that stretch in the manufacturing process. Sometimes they make some lines that is almost impossible to break because it stretches so much. They make other lines that break pretty easily. Now, the lines that do not stretch at all, braided lines, will improve about anybody's hook set. Fluorocarbon is a low stretch line also. So you can think about that. If you're having a little bit trouble hook set, you might want to put some braid with a little fluorocarbon or fluorocarbon coated leader, either one. High Seas makes great braid. They make great fluorocarbon. They make great coated fluorocarbon. Kind of depends on what you want. Your fishing line is another tool, just like spinning rods, casting rods, topwaters, worms, crankbaits, jigs, are tools. They're all tools in fishing. Your fishing line's another tool. Use a fishing line that's got the right amount of stretch. If it stretches too much, you won't get any hook set at all. And so something like trolling, you want to use one that's got a pretty good hook set because you're going really, really fast. The lure's moving really fast when you're trolling, way faster than you can crank it. So even though you're trolling pretty slowly. So you want to use a line that stretches quite a bit, so when you get that strike, it's got to stretch. And they make saltwater fishing lines. Got a lot of stretch for them because they troll for a lot of those big saltwater fish. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. And remember, I sure do love you.